How's it going, everybody? Brett Mix here from Macho Wrestling 101. If you haven't already subscribed, I'd invite you to do that. If you like the history of wrestling, I pump out videos daily. Plus, I stay up to date with the current product as well. Today, we're talking about the passing of Bam Bam Bigelow. Here on this channel, we like to remember those who've passed away as a way to say thank you and also keep their unfortunate, forgotten names in the spotlight. Because it's unfortunate because it's an unintentional blind eye we have with the deceased. We say things like never forget, yet when it comes to those who've passed on, it's a constant reminder that we unintentionally, unfortunately, do. At least to some respects. So videos like this, I'd hoped to do the very thing to break that cycle, hence why I make them. Even if it's just a small gesture, videos like this, in the end, it still all counts the same. Most people consider Bam Bam to be a legend in the business, and if not a legend, at least a memorable alumni member from their childhood or from earlier on in the 80s and 90s. He did many special things. One of them included main eventing WrestleMania 11 with the NFL's Lawrence Taylor, and being an agile and professional enough to put LT over was pretty impressive. Bigelow spent time working in Japan for both major promotions out there. He was hailed as being from Osbury Park, New Jersey. He also worked as a bounty hunter, and while doing that, a fugitive shot him in the back. And he was later imprisoned for 6 months in Mexico City. After that, he figured wrestling was what he could do best, so he was trained by Larry Sharp out of the Monster Factory Wrestling School in Clementon, New Jersey. Sharp regarded him as a prize student. He made his professional wrestling debut on August 23, 1985. At a show held at the Studio 54 nightclub that was promoted by one Paul Heyman. Heyman's got his roots with everybody. He was 6'4", 390 pounds, notable given his offense and how he executed it. Bigelow won his first championship in July of '86, being crowned the new AWA Southern Heavyweight Champion after winning a Battle Royal. He lost that championship to Jerry Lawler on September 8, '86 in a Texas death match. In January '89, he formed a team in Japan with Big Van Vader, known as Big, Bad, and Dangerous, that lasted until May 1989. He had a ton of success in his later years, not only in the WWF, but WCW, ECW, Memphis, and the aforementioned AWA. And even in film. He showed up in Damon Wayans' film from 1995, the film called Major Pain, where Damon Wayans is he's tutoring all these kids, and then Bigelow shows up as the antagonist. So he was also in movies like Ready to Rumble and a couple other ones. So he got his fair share of mainstream appeal too. To me, Scott Charles Bam Bam Bigelow was perhaps the most underappreciated big man in the business, pretty much. He was overshadowed maybe by more popular characters like The Undertaker or other big names due to their size like Yokozuna, or guys with similar build who were stiffer, violent style like Vader. However you enjoy the work is subjective. But I'm here to say that outside of people like Lesnar and Taker and such, if we take those guys away, Bam Bam is perhaps the greatest big man in the ring in WWF history. What he can do is just unbelievable for his size, his cartwheels, his elevation, his mobility, his strides, his agility, his moonsaults. And we even got to see his hardcore side in ECW. I remember as a kid being intimidated by him. His bald head with a tattoo over it, he's shouting, he's missing teeth. He had several good classics with Bret Hart in Spain that we got to see on Bret Hart's first DVD, and also his King of the Ring 93 final was probably my favorite memory, if not the ECW Heatwave 98 and Living Dangerously classics in ECW. Bam Bam would suffer from severe back pain. Many back surgeries actually took centimeters off his height. He was a diabetic who suffered from atherosclerosis. It was Bigelow's girlfriend that fateful day who found him dead in his home in Hudson, Florida at approximately 10 a.m. Eastern on the morning of January 19th, 2007. An autopsy found that Bigelow's death was due to multiple drugs found in his system, including toxic levels of cocaine and benzodiazepines, a modified variation of a speedball. Coke and heroin is a speedball. It's a mixture of uppers and downers. but in this case, cocaine is just a mega stimulant as the upper, while benzos such as Valium, Xanax, Ativan, Alprazolam, clonazepam, those are all downers for the central nervous system. So what happens is you have all these uppers and all the downers put stress on the heart. Which way are you going to go? That's why it's called a speedball, because it meets somewhere in the middle. And what happens is it puts severe stress on your heart. He was also addicted to OxyContin, so I'm sure he had some of that in his system as well, because many opiates were found. But Bigelow ended up dying due to this, similar to Mr. Perfect in ways. A contributing factor to Bigelow's death was his atherosclerosis, the widening of the lesions in the arteries. His death was ruled an accident by the Pasco Pinellas medical examiner in the end, and Bigelow was just 45 years old. So, just wanted to reiterate from the opening and say thank you, Bam Bam, and rest in peace here on this channel. I'm Brett Mix, and I'm out.